As you can see, talking about the 70 weeks, the Shmita, and the Jubilee. For the longest time, I've listened to people say that a day in God's time was a year. However, I began studying and started to write it down the way that God's actually said it in the Bible. And I saw that wasn't the truth at all. That's not the way God counts his days and weeks. So I'm going to break it down to you for you because God tells us exactly how to count the way that he does. This is Leviticus 25, 3 and 4. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Notice this says that a Sabbath for the Lord. God commands us to keep his Sabbaths. They're not ours. We didn't make this up. But the church changed it from the 7th-day Sabbath to Sunday. Anyway, we'll get into it. He goes on to tell us this in verse 8. This is Leviticus 25, 8. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7. So this is where the church gets that 7 times 70 equals 490 years for, Daniel's 70 weeks. But anyway, in the space of 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. So that's, like I said, where they get the 490 years. But they forgot something. You left something off. You have to keep reading. This is Leviticus 25:10. And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession. You shall return every man unto his family. So you see, it's not 49 years, it's 50 years. So you'd have to say 50 times 70, or 7 times 50. Either way, it doesn't work out the way that y'all do it. But anyway, so it's not 7 times 7 equals 49. It would be 7 times 7 plus 1 equals 50. So now I'm going to show you the Shmita and how God counts these years. It takes 7 years to equal 1 Shmita, and each Shmita counts as 1 day. I'm going to repeat this. It takes 7 years to equal a Shmita, and a Shmita is 1 day. So that's where they get 7 times 7. 7 years or 7 Sabbaths equals a Shmita, and that's a day according to God. But anyway, let's keep going. So this is our first 70 week, or first of the 70 weeks. This week 14 is week 1, 1484 through 1435 BC. And it's 50 years long. And of course, our week began the year we celebrated our first Sabbath in the Promised Land. And the end of the Shmita, or 49 years, we blow the shofar. That brings us into the 50th year. Again, with God, a week is actually a 49-year Shmita, with the 50th year being the Jubilee. So you can't leave that day off. Now I'm going to actually show you the Shmitas. This would be our first week, like I showed you up there. This is the first one. From 1484 to 1478. See, Shabbat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th one is the Shmita, and that equals a day. And then the second one is 1477 through 1471. This was 6 Sabbaths, with the 7th one being the Shmita, and that is day 2. Then the next one is 1470 through 1464. 6 Sabbaths plus the Shmita, the 7th Sabbath, which is day 3. Then 1463 through 1457, 6 Sabbaths plus the extra one is the Shmita. That's day 4. And 1456 through 1450, 6 Sabbaths plus the 7th Sabbath equals the Shmita, which is day 5. And then 1449 through 1443, like 7 Sabbaths, Shmita, day 6. And then finally, the last of the week is 142 through 1442, through 1435 or 36. That would be 6 Sabbaths plus the Shmita for 7th Sabbath, and that's day 7. And then the last year, 1435, would be the Jubilee or Teruah, I think that's how it's pronounced. So the 50th year, 1435, would be the Jubilee year, and then it starts all over again. So again, God's weeks are 50 years long, 7 Shmitas for a total of 49 years, and then the 50th year is the Jubilee year. So I'm going to try to put the whole 70-week timeline in the description box, or find some way to link it to something so you can actually see it. And then the next video I make, I'm going to be showing you occurrences, the things that happened throughout the 70 weeks. It's actually 3,500 years, 70 days or 70 weeks times 50 years. So anyway, like I said, the next one I'm going to make is going to actually show you things that happened throughout the 70 weeks, and I think you're going to enjoy that.